பேசு தமிழா பேசினர்களுக்கு வணக்கம். சமீபத்தில் பாத்தீங்கன்னா அந்த டீலிமிட்டேஷன் அப்படிங்கிறது நாடு முழுக்க பேசுபொருளாக மாறி இருக்கிறது. இதற்கு மிக முக்கியமான காரணம் 2026 டீலிமிட்டேஷன் எனும் கூரான கத்தி தமிழகத்தின் மண்ட மேல தொங்கிக்கிட்டு இருக்கு என்று நம்முடைய முதல்வர் மு.க.ஸ்டாலின் அவர்கள் திடீர்னு ஒரு குண்டு தூக்கி போட்டாரு. அதற்கு பிறகாக ஒட்டுமொத்த தமிழ்நாடும் என்னப்பா இது டீலிமிட்டேஷன் என்று தேட ஆரம்பித்தது. நாடு முழுக்க இது ஒரு டிபேட் ஆகவும் மாறியது. இதற்கு அமித்ஷா அவர்கள் விளக்கம் கொடுத்திருக்காரு, அண்ணாமலைக்கு விளக்கம் கொடுத்திருக்காரு. இரண்டு பக்கமும் இந்த வாத பிரதிவாதங்கள் போய்கிட்டே இருக்கிற தருணத்துல இன்னைக்கு நம்மளுடன் திரு கௌதம் தேசிராஜ் அவர்கள் இணைஞ்சிருக்காரு. அவர் பாத்தீங்கன்னா சமீபத்துல ரொம்ப விரிவாக டீலிமிட்டேஷன் பத்தி புத்தகம் எழுதியிருக்காரு. டீலிமிட்டேஷன் குறித்து ரொம்ப ஆழமாக ஆராய்ந்து அதை ஒரு தொகுப்பாக ஒரு புத்தகமாக வெளியிட்டிருக்காரு. சார் வணக்கம், வெல்கம் டு தி ஷோ.
வணக்கம் வணக்கம். Very happy to speak in Pesu Tamil Pesum again. And இந்த டீலிமிட்டேஷன் பத்தி எல்லை நிர்ணயம்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ ஒரு லிமிட் ஃபிக்ஸ் பண்ணணும் பை லா. இட்ஸ் எ லீகல் ப்ரோசஸ். அண்ட் இப்போ இந்தியாவில் 28 மாநிலம் இருக்கு, ஸ்டேட்ஸ், 8 யூனியன் டெரிட்டரிஸ் இருக்கு. And the purpose of delimitation is to ensure that the vote of every voter in the country has the same value. So in the book which we have written, it explains why this delimitation problem has come about. Periya problem, periya political problem. In the last 2 days நம்ம ஸ்டாலின் அவர், சித்தராமையா and Amitha, 3 பேரும் they have talked about this delimitation. So இவங்கெல்லாம் ஹை லெவல் பீப்புள். எல்லாருக்கும் இப்போ புரிஞ்சது ஃபைனலி ஒரு டீலிமிட்டேஷன் இஷ்யூ இஸ் அ சீரியஸ் இஷ்யூ. ஈஸி சொல்யூஷன்ஸ் கிடையாது. என்னென்னமோ சில சொல்யூஷன்ஸ் சஜஸ்ட் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. பட் இஃப் யூ திங்க் அபவுட் தீஸ் சொல்யூஷன்ஸ் யூ வில் ரியலைஸ் they are not executable. Somebody or the other will be unhappy. So in the book we have proposed what we think is a solution to this delimitation problem, which will not satisfy everybody 100%. அது impossible. அது தாமஸ் ஜெஃபர்சன் சொல்லிருக்காரு அமெரிக்கால, that you cannot have any system which pleases all the people all the time. அது ஆகவே ஆகாது. But I think our solution will please most of the people to some extent. Nobody will feel cheated right now. Today South feels cheated, North also feels cheated. So this is not a very happy state of affairs whole country wise. So how do we go about this? I am a scientist. My co-author, Mr. Velachery, is a lawyer. He is a young lawyer of only 25 years old. Okay. He works in Delhi. So we have proposed a solution, and we have a foreword for this book by none other by Professor Murli Manohar Joshi, who was a famous BJP politician and was a minister at the time when this delimitation crisis was happening in 2001. So our சொல்லிருக்காரு என்கிட்ட that I agree with all the things you are saying here, and only a scientist could have come up with this solution, because scientists are not biased people. எனக்கு காங்கிரஸ், திமுக, பிஜேபி ஒன்றும் affinity, particular affinity கிடையாது. So I have tried to propose a solution which is practically free of politics. It is mostly a scientific and mathematical solution. And the main purpose here is to have every vote having the same value. It is better if we divide the delimitation also to the states and have 75 small states of 2 crore population each. So if I tell more, I will be telling you everything in the book and you will not buy it. So now I leave the suspense and I will ask Srivatsan, நீங்க கொஞ்சம் questions. I heard some common questions இருக்கு in the delimitation பத்தி, population connection, linguistic states, இதெல்லாம் வருது. Several issues are there. And actually, we have neglected these problems for 50 years. 50 varsham, we are just sleeping and doing some other things. So, now vandirku full compound interest vechindu vandadu problem. Now we have to try to solve this problem, and that's I think this will be a very interesting conversation. Konjam Tamil la pesren, konjam English la pesren when the words are getting little complicated. But I think the viewers of Pesu Tamil Pesu will understand at least the spirit of. I know Srivatsan. He has interviewed me before, so I am back in a friendly and familiar place with Pesu Tamil Pesu. So now it's yours, Srivatsan.
சார், இந்த டீலிமினேஷன் பத்தி பேசும்போது ஒவ்வொருவரும் ஒவ்வொரு கருத்துக்களை அவர்களுக்கு தெரிந்த வண்ணம் அவங்க பேசிட்டு இருக்காங்க. செவி வழி செய்தியாக கேட்பது, செய்திகள்ல பார்ப்பது என்று. இது குறித்து ரொம்ப ஆழமாக நீங்க ரிசர்ச் பண்ணிருக்கீங்க, அது குறித்து புத்தகம் எழுதிருக்கீங்க. அதுக்காக உங்கள்கிட்ட கொஞ்சம் விரிவாக கேட்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். இந்த டீலிமிட்டேஷன் பத்தி பேசுகையில் மிகப்பெரிய பொய் என்று எதிர்பார்க்கறீங்க. அதாவது வாட் ஆர் வி மிஸ்ஸிங் ஆன் த பப்ளிக் டொமைன், பப்ளிக் டிஸ்கோர்ஸ்?
See, you have referred to this one. This is the latest book which I have written, Delimitation and States Reorganization for a Better Democracy in Bharat. So this book has just come out about 1 month ago. And if they are asking me, how did you know this delimitation will become important topic? So that is the thing, When you write a book, you must write predicting correctly what will happen. It is very easy to write a book stating the known things. This happened, this happened, this happened. The history type of book. So in the delimitation, when I started writing this book last year in the month of March, nobody even knew that this is a problem. Ipo Stalin pesiraru, inniki Siddaramaiah pesiraru delimitation patti Kartale, and then Amit Shah, of course. Unga viewers ke in the Pesu Tamil Pesu viewers ku nanu simple words la na solren. Ipo present Lok Sabha la 543 seats. Number voting population about 97 crores. 97 kodi. Eligible voters. இப்போ இந்த லோக்சபா எலெக்ஷன்ல ஒரு 65 கோடி voter vote போட்டாங்க. 65 crores out of 97 voted. So ஒரு simple division பண்ணலாம். Each Lok Sabha constituency on the average 17 lakhs. So average constituency in India is 17 lakhs average. These constituencies were delimited on the basis of 1971 census. 1976 la Indira Gandhi, in the height of the emergency, the first delimitation freeze pota, because it was suiting her interest. அப்போ 1975-76 emergency time, the regional parties like Timuka and all were coming up. She feared that they will become more popular. So constituencies freeze பண்ணிட்டா. அந்த சைஸ் தான் இருக்கணும் 25 வருஷத்துக்கு. இந்த ஃப்ரீஸ் எல்லாம் 25 இயர்ஸ்க்கு வருது. So 1976 ல இருந்து கணக்கு போடுங்க up to 2001. So இப்போ 2001ல நம்ம என்டிஏ கவர்மெண்ட் இருந்தது, வாஜ்பாய். அது கோலிஷன் கவர்மெண்ட். ரீஜனல் பார்ட்டிஸ் இருந்தாங்க. It suits the regional parties fine to keep those existing constituencies because they don't want their strength to come down. So ரொம்ப pressure போட்டாங்க on Vajpayee. You continue the delimitation for another 25 years. So that 25 years will get over next year, 2026. At 2001 plus 25 is 2026. So Congress did one freeze, BJP did one freeze. Total 50 varsham freeze. And Professor Joshi sonnar enikite. He said allies were not very keen to have the constituencies delimited. So engalukku mudinjadhu 3 small states we managed to delimit. In the states, the Uttarakhand, ஒரு சின்னது, they took it away from Uttar Pradesh. Then ஒரு Jharkhand சின்னது, They took it away from Bihar. And Chhattisgarh, Munavad, they took it away from Madhya Pradesh. He said we could not do more than that. இப்போ BJP general policy நான் சொல்றேன் over the years to have smaller states. And this is also a big question that is the present states of India ரொம்ப disproportionate இருக்கு சைஸ்ல. இப்போ பீகார் யூபி ரொம்ப பெருசு. இப்போ கோவா சிக்கிம் மணிப்பூர் ரொம்ப சின்னது. In the middle we'll have Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, அப்படி ஹரியானா சின்ன சின்ன ஸ்டேட்ஸ் எல்லாம் இருக்கு. ஸோ ரொம்ப டிஃப்ரெண்ட் சைஸஸ். அது இன்னொன்று பாயிண்ட் அண்ட் வில் கம் அட் தி எண்ட் ஆஃப் த டிஸ்கஷன் வாட் திஸ் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் சைஸஸ் அண்ட் ஆல் மீன். ஸோ இப்போ இந்தியா வி ஹவ் பின் இண்டிபெண்ட் ஆர் had a constitution since 1950, so 75 years. Out of the 75 years, 50 வருஷம் freeze. Constituency size மாறல. It's just stuck like that. இப்போ practical example கொடுப்பேன். That all the viewers of Pesu and Tamil Pesu will understand. So you know I live in Bangalore. I'm speaking to you from Bangalore. I live in the northern part of the city. And my Lok Sabha constituency is Bangalore North. Bangalore North is the 5th largest Lok Sabha constituency in the country. And the number of voters in my constituency, 31 lakham. 31 lakham voters we have sent one lady, Shobha Karandlaje, to the Lok Sabha from the BJP. It's a very big constituency. Now, for comparison's sake, I will give a second, rendavathu constituency solren. Chennai Central. The central station, Rippan building and the area, Park Town. The number of voters there, 14 lakhs. 14 lakhs. Now, Bangalore North sends one MP. Chennai Central sends one MP. So, value of the vote in Chennai Central is double the value of the vote in Bangalore North. So, only 14 lakh voters. We will take a smaller constituency. We will go to Puducherry. Puducherry le number of eligible voters 10 lakhs. So, value of one Puducherry vote is 3 times the value of my vote. So, இப்போ an article 14 and one இருக்கு constitutionally. That government state will treat all the citizens equal. But it is not treating me equal. My vote is only 1/3 of the Puducherry vote. It is 1/2 of the Chennai Central vote. So, I am being discriminated against by the state because I am living in Bangalore North. அவ்வளவுதான். So they are telling me if you live in Bangalore North, your vote is only half the value of the vote of Chennai Central. This is the delimitation problem. So unless each Lok Sabha has roughly the same number of voters, no problem. I'll tell you one more, which can be told to Mr. Stalin directly. Let us take Tamil Nadu itself. State of Tamil Nadu, let us consider. So he doesn't have to worry about Karnataka, some Inti, Brahmins, he cannot worry about all that. Just take Tamil Nadu. 39 Lok Sabha MPs irukanga Tamil Nadu. எல்லாருக்கும் தெரியும். Of these, how many come from Chennai constituencies? 5. 5 out of 39 are from Chennai. This is 13.5%. What is the population of Chennai compared to population of Tamil Nadu? Only 3.5%. So 3.5% of the voters are sending 13.5% members to the Lok Sabha. So they are heavily populated districts in Tamil Nadu like Virudhunagar, Ramanathapuram and all that, which are getting underrepresented. Chennai is getting overrepresented. So before Stalin starts talking about North, South and all, let him worry about North of Tamil Nadu and South of Tamil Nadu and do some more fair representation You should have delimitation within Tamil Nadu itself and make all the constituencies of the same size so that the equal, each vote same value. அது இல்லையே தமிழ்நாட்டிலே இல்லை இப்போ.
இருக்கட்டும் மற்ற திராவிட கட்சிகளுடைய ஆதரவாளர்கள் டிபேட்ஸ்ல பங்கேற்கும் போது ஒரு பாயிண்ட் சொல்றாங்க, நாங்க வந்து பாப்புலேஷனை கட்டுப்படுத்தணும், வட இந்திய மாநிலங்கள் கட்டுப்படுத்த தவறினார்கள்.
அது வரேன், அது பாயிண்ட் வரேன், அது இன்னொரு பாயிண்ட், அதுக்கு அந்த பாயிண்ட்டுக்கு வரேன். But first they say English like people in glass houses should not throw stones. So first let him delimit Tamil Nadu constituencies correctly and let the number of seats in Chennai come down. The Chennai South can be merged with Chennai Central. Accept பண்ணுவாங்களா? So this is a very deep problem. It is not a small problem. Okay. Next is this population. We have done family planning. Our population is small, so we are suffering. No. This is the DMK line. North people will say that for a variety of reasons, mostly because of partition and so many people from the other community coming there, it is not possible for us to control the population. Sanjay Gandhi try pannadu. Adu backfire aipochu. Emergency title. So it is not that they didn't try to control the population, but it did not work. And also, now people in the north are saying delimitation has favored the south for 50 years. 50 varshathukku it has favored the south so much that you could grow your economy because of that. Now it is time for all of us to feel like Indians, and you take a back seat and give the chance to the north to come up. So what is sauce for the goose is sauce for the gander. English solluvaanga. So we must all behave as Indians, and we should not behave like Tamilians or Telugus or UPs or Biharis. That is the first point. And it is not true that they make an argument. Even Indira Gandhi made this wrong argument, that if you control the population, your economy will grow. That is totally false. The converse is true. If your economy grows, you will control your population. People in Tamil Nadu or Kerala or something, they did not go there and say, we will start controlling our population. They improved their economy. And when you improve the economy, education goes up. And when education goes up, automatically people will stop with 1 or 2 children. Because in the South Indian states, even people are not getting married anymore. This is becoming more and more common in the urban areas. So there will be a natural leveling off. But one is very clear. Any kind of electoral democracy, the Lok Sabha seats must be in proportion to the population. Otherwise, on what basis you will choose? Tomorrow I will say economy of Karnataka is better than economy of Tamil Nadu, so we will give more seats to Karnataka.
இன்னைக்கு ஒரு ட்வீட் ஒன்று பார்த்தேன் சார். நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி ஹரியானாவுடைய கான்ட்ரிபியூஷன் டு தி ஜிடிபி அண்ட் கேரளாவோட கான்ட்ரிபியூஷன் டு தி ஜிடிபி மோர் ஆர் லெஸ் தி சேம். ஆனா கேரளா கிட்ட 20 நாடாளுமன்ற தொகுதி இருக்கு, ஹரியானா கிட்ட 10 தான் இருக்கு. This is not fair என்று ஒரு
it is not. See, so you cannot link it to economy. You must link it to the number of people. Ipo BJP is telling another very wrong thing. In the debate the other day, one lady came from BJP side. She is very popular. She says delimitation is very important. Delimitation is very important because only by doing delimitation we will give rights to scheduled tribes. Scheduled tribes are equally included in the census. Like tomorrow, suppose I use your argument. Actually, this was tried in the early days of the Republic. Suppose you say every scheduled tribe gets 2 votes and not 1. அப்படியே சொல்லலாமே. இப்போ ராகுல் காந்தி என்ன சொல்றான், ஜித்தனா ஆபாதி உத்தனா ஹக். Actually, Jitna Abadi Utna Hak is based on population, and Stalin supports Jitna Abadi Utna Hak. So he should support it for population. Whoever is more in number should get more votes. Yenenamo argument. See, DMK, if it sticks to simple population argument, it is better off. Annike and the Sharavanan Sonna. They are not giving us our GST money. And the GST money in the delimitation enna sambandham. There is no connection at all. Romba irrational la pechuvaanga. Next day they'll say Brahmins have done it because BJP is full of Brahmins. Ennamo they will start talking. And the whole discourse will go somewhere else. Yanakku bayam is that they won't hold the census. Frankly, I'm speaking out loudly.
Next year, sir.
I feel that something they will do with that census, because once they hold the census, they cannot avoid delimitation.
Cannot, according to the constitution.
Well, not according to the constitution, but the pressure on holding the delimitation will be so much. Like suppose, I'll give you another example of this problem. By Article 82, it is frozen by the population census of 1971. Suppose population of Bihar in 1971 is 100. 100 Manisha irundanga Bihar in 1971. In 2011 census, there will be 241 people in Bihar. If the census is held tomorrow, 270 people irpanga Bihar. So 100 to 270 population increase in Bihar. Same number if you take for UP. Suppose you take 100 in 1971. Today it is about 230. If you take Karnataka, 171 is equal to about 210 today. 210 is so-called about average of the whole country. Tamil Nadu is very different. 100 people in 1971, only 175 people today. So the population of Tamil Nadu relative to 71, it's really low. And Tamil Nadu will be the chief state affected by population-based delimitation. There cannot be any other kind of delimitation. That is very clear. Because otherwise you will start saying if he is scheduled caste, he will get more votes. If he is Brahmin, he will get less votes. See, it will lead to so much of Pandora's box. The whole country will get into chaos. I don't think BJP wants to do. That's why I feel they will go slow on the census. This is my own feeling. Nobody told me this. But it's a rumba touchy topic. So you have
affected, like Tamil Nadu will be affected.
It will be affected. There is, if you just keep it by population wise, it will definitely get affected because the population has not grown so much. And at the same time, you cannot tell North Indian states, just like how I said in Bangalore North. You are penalizing me because I live in a constituency with more people. So you can't really tell that, you should not live in Bangalore North. See, I'm being penalized. So people of Bihar are being penalized because they live in a state with greater population. So the average, see, 1 vote in Tamil Nadu is equal to about 2 votes in Tamil Nadu is, well, let me put it like, 1 vote in Tamil Nadu has double the value of 1 vote in Bihar. So what sin has the Bihari done?
So இன்னொரு எனக்கு புரியல சார். தமிழ்நாட்டில் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 234 சட்டமன்ற தொகுதி, பாராளுமன்றமா பார்த்தோம்னா 40 இருக்கு. கர்நாடகாவில் 224 சட்டமன்ற தொகுதி, பாராளுமன்றமா பார்த்தா 28 தான் இருக்கு. இது எப்படி இந்த ரேஷியோ வந்தது
சொல்லுங்க.
தமிழ்நாட்டில் அசம்பிளி கான்ஸ்டிட்யூன்சிஸ் 234, பார்லிமெண்டரி கான்ஸ்டிட்யூன்சிஸ் 40. ஆனா கர்நாடகாவில் 224 அசம்பிளி கான்ஸ்டிட்யூன்சிஸ், பார்லிமெண்டரி கான்ஸ்டிட்யூன்சிஸ் 28.
Okay, அதுக்கு some delimitation was done for assembly constituencies.
Okay.
As the changes vandadu, so to some extent they have made some adjustments in the assembly constituencies. But Lok Sabha le onnum pannala. Innonu, I'll tell you. So BJP slight misspeaking, which is why Dimuka is getting very angry. They are saying, இப்போ தமிழ்நாடுக்கு 39 லோக்சபா சீட் இருக்கு. After delimitation உங்களுக்கு 41 இருக்கும். So you will be increased from 39 to 41. Why are you complaining? But they forget one thing. If 39 is in a strength of Lok Sabha of 543. 41 will be in a strength of 758. So fraction போடுங்க.
அதான் சார் இப்போ வந்து 7.2% சம்திங் இருக்கு சார் பாராளுமன்ற தொகுதிகள் தமிழ்நாட்டுல கம்பேர் பண்ணும்போது 543 இங்க 40
அந்த 39 divided by 543. But if you divide 41 by 758, அது குறைஞ்சு வரணும்.
பர்சன்டேஜ் குறையுது. அதான் கோரிக்கையாக என்ன வைக்கிறாங்கன்னா பாமக தலைவர் ராமதாஸ் அவர் கூட சொல்லியிருந்தாரு 7.2% இருக்கிற மாதிரி இங்க டீலிமினேஷன் பண்ணி கொடுங்க.
அது ஆகவே ஆகாது. Impossible. I have to tell him that mathematically it is impossible. If you keep the vote of each value, each vote having the same value, அது ஆகாது. Mathematically it is impossible. He is asking for the impossible. That is what we have mentioned in this book. That you cannot have every vote. If each vote does not have the same value, Srivatsan, it is not a democracy anymore. Because every citizen of this country should have the same right to elect a member of the Lok Sabha. How can he ask for 7.2% if that was a number fixed in 1971? The whole world begins and ends in 1971, is it? I mean, basically that's what he's saying.
இன்னொரு கோரிக்கை எடுக்கிறாங்க. அதாவது இப்போ சென்சஸ் எடுத்து இந்த சென்சஸின் அடிப்படையில் பண்ண வேணாம், 1971 சென்சஸ் படியே நீங்க பண்ணுங்க, இந்த delimitation நடத்துங்க என்று சொல்வது நீங்க எப்படி பார்க்கறீங்க?
How can they say that? Today's population is today's population. Are the 1971 voters coming and voting today? I mean, what he is asking is that all the people who are born after 1971 don't count. அவங்க ஓட்டர்லாம் எங்கே போச்சு? I mean, what is so sacred about 1971? Nothing. Actually, delimitation freeze should never have been done. No country, no democracy in the world has done delimitation freeze except India. Viewers of your channel should be aware of that. Every country, France, Germany, USA, UK, Australia, New Zealand, all the functioning free democracies, they have delimitation at a constant interval. 5 வருஷம் 6 வருஷம் 10 வருஷம். India used to do it every 10 years.
உங்க புத்தகத்துல அம்பேத்கர்ஸ் ஐடியான்னு குறிப்பிட்டிருக்கீங்க. அம்பேத்கர்ஸ் ஐடியா என்னவாக இருந்தது என்று சுருக்கமா சொன்னாங்க.
Ambedkar had very good ideas and he was a very wise man. Adha, I don't know if we will have the time to go into linguistic states today and about states reorganization, because delimitation patti we have spoken again and again. What this book really says, to summarize for the viewers, is that to have an efficient, smooth delimitation, the size of the constituencies must be equal. Second point, which is independent, is the states must also have equal rights in the union. Part of this problem is Bihar is so big and Tamil Nadu is so small. It has directly led to this problem. Bihar and Uttar Pradesh are so big that their clout and their heft in the union government is very high. So if he says UP people are dominating us, அது கொஞ்சம் கரெக்ட் தான். இந்த இந்தி சொல்லுவாங்க திமுக. So to some extent they feel that these fellows are bullying them. So that's when we go into this question of delimitation should be taken up with the states reorganization itself. Now suppose we propose in this book that India, which we call actually Bharat, 75 equal size states பண்ணலாம். Each state 2 கோடி population இருக்கும். So in each state la 12 Lok Sabha constituencies இருக்கும். And the population in each of these 12 will be equal because you are going to do a complete delimitation. So every vote will have the same value throughout the country, throughout. And we will take an example. இப்போ யூபியில் one of the states we have proposed ஒரு மேப்பும் இருக்குங்க with a district wise and state wise population. We have the readers of the book can see the map. So they can buy the book and see, because you can't see from this one. Not very costly. So page 126 la irukku map. So you can check up. ஒரு லக்னோ ஏரியாவில் ஒரு சின்ன ஸ்டேட் அவத்ன்னு வச்சிருக்கோம். அவத் that is with the Lucknow as the capital, 2 கோடி population. And around Coimbatore, Kovai, கொங்கு நாடுன்னு வச்சிருக்கோம் ஒரு ஸ்டேட். அது ஒரு 2 கோடி population. So suppose Tamil, before you ask the question, Tamil Nadu can complain that UP is bullying it, but Kongu Nadu cannot complain that Awadh is bullying it. You see the difference, because the states will all be equal. So suppose Chief Minister of Awadh and Chief Minister of Kongu Nadu go to see the Prime Minister, he will deal with both of them like equals. Today, if UP Chief Minister goes and Stalin goes, he will look at Yogi first. Because UP is such a big state. See, right from the beginning, from the time of 1956, States Reorganization Committee, everybody knew UP is too big. And all the time people have said UP must be divided. No political party wants to divide UP, because somebody who can control UP can control the whole union government. But Dimuka children's points are legitimate. It's not totally that only one side is telling lies. Both sides are telling lies actually. Because BJP is not telling correctly. They are telling 41 divided by 758 and 39 divided by 543 is the same. Mathematically, arithmetically, that's not correct. And so they are just trying to do some bluffing, some speaking some sweet words. In the bucket land, they are confusing it with all sorts of things like GST, where they are not getting money. You are not getting money for some other reason. You have to ask Mrs. Sitaraman about that. There is not a matter of delimitation. So, romba jingoistic is now going. And if now you have a problem which you cannot solve, unless the only solution is to make 75 small states of equal population and do a full delimitation across the full country. With all the
will be possible in the near future.
My average for that is about 10 lakhs per constituency across the country. Easily pannalam, sir. There's nothing to do. This is all just a executive exercise. And once the states are delimited across the whole country, nobody can say that I am being discriminated against. So in Tamil Nadu, we have got 4 states: Kongu Nadu, Thondai Mandalam, Chola Nadu, Pandya Nadu. And each of them, there is an economic point and cultural point, geographical point, historical point, why those states will capture the micro identities. If Andhra we have put, see, the other thing is we have not had the time to talk about linguistic states. But Ambedkar, one of the things he said, very important, that is the readers of this book will find the slogan here behind on the back cover, that each state same heft, each vote same value, each state same heft. Ambedkar enna sonnar in the linguistic states patti? He said, one state, one language. That means in any one state, all the people in that state must speak the same language. Because he said this will improve the administrative convenience and communication, free communication between the people. But the opposite, he said, is totally false. What is the opposite? One language, one state. That means all the people who speak one language must be in one state. He said 1955 la sonnar Ambedkar. he wrote on the book called Linguistic States, or small pamphlet. So he says, one state, one language, okay. One language, one state, not at all okay. And in fact, he said, if you have one language, one state, you will get this north-south problem. 55 less on sir, Ambedkar. Today, Ambedkar is only, they have forgotten all the good things that he said. They just call him Baba Sahib ka Samvidhan, champion of the scheduled caste. But some of his statements which he has made on linguistic states, Pati, I must tell a little bit, because it will come up in the reorganization of states. ஒரு புட்டி ஸ்ரீராமுலுன்னு இருந்தாரு, தெலுங்குக்காரன். And at the time of independence, இப்போ சென்னையில் half the population of Chennai was Telugu speaking. இப்போ நம்ம சென்ட்ரல் ஸ்டேஷன் இருக்கே, everything in that area, north of that area was Telugu speaking in 1947. 50-50 இருந்தது Telugu Tamil. And then gradually Telugu people wanted their own state. They felt they are being discriminated against and all. So this Potti Sriramulu went to a fast, and people like Nehru, Patel and Ambedkar did not want linguistic states, because they said that linguistic states is something which is of very recent origin. It's a British mischief. If you read our book, you will figure out that Indians never used language as an identifying mark. So many people are bilingual. I can speak 3 or 4 Indian languages. Which state do you want me to live in? Should I live in Bangalore? Should I live in Chennai? Should I live in Vijayawada? I can speak all these 3 languages fairly well. So do I belong nowhere simply because I can speak more than one language? Where do I go? I am also a citizen of India. You cannot say you go to Mauritius or you go to New Zealand. I will not go. I will only want to stay in my own country. So they asked for linguistic states, Telugu speaking states. So this Potti Sriramulu, after 56 days of hunger strike, he died. And then Nehru got scared. Within 24 hours, he gave a linguistic state of Andhra, after resisting it for many years. So Andhra became the first linguistic state. And you see how false is that argument. By 2014, that same Andhra divided itself into 2 states, both Telugu speaking. So the basis of linguistic state itself is false, totally false. Language is never such a super identifier. Language has become a political tool. That is why whenever they are in trouble, inti. The moment they start talking about Hindi, you can be sure they are in big trouble. Whenever they are in some trouble, they talk Hindi. The basis is sum and substance. If you go to Coimbatore and all, half the people understand Malayalam. So you want Coimbatore to go to that side, or you want Palghat to come this side? Palghat, many people speak Tamil. So you see, linguistics, one of the things that we have written strongly against in this book is the whole idea of linguistic states. So if Mr. Stalin wants a proper delimitation, and if he doesn't want discrimination of Tamil-speaking people by Hindiwalas, then he has to be prepared to allow Tamil Nadu to split into 4 states. You will have 4 Tamil-speaking chief ministers in Delhi. That is better than having 1. And the people are become no less Tamilian because they are in different states. The area around Chennai, Kanchipuram, Tonde Mandalam, that will become the gateway to the world. Harbor irukku, Chennai. If you go near Cholanadu, that becomes the agricultural place. And if you go to Pandya Nadu, that becomes strategic importance because it is close to Sri Lanka and all the main sea routes. It is all international powers want to split that part off from India. Ipo tukade gang irukke. They are looking very closely at that Kanyakumari, Nagarkoil and the districts. Why so many conversions there? That is the plan of the deep state. Ipo Trump vandirukkaru, so all that money has been cut off suddenly. So ipo paakano what happens on the sideline. Why so many Christians there? Have you ever asked that question? Are the deliberate choice? So that becomes a sensitive. And Kongunadu is, we know, Manchester of the Eastern Coimbatore. So it will become a highly economic powerhouse which will beat Bangladesh and all in textiles, garments. Tirupur will become like a Manchester of the old days. So these small states will become economic powerhouses. One of the chapters here is 75 economic powerhouses varum sir India la. Each of these small states will become very rich. And that is the point which we make. That is why somebody who is of the level of Professor Murli Manohar Joshi wrote a foreword. Or forward kudupara, just like that. He said, I believe all the arguments you have made in this paper because you are not taking a party line. I challenge the readers of this book to figure out whether I am BJP or Dimuka or Congress. You cannot make out by reading this book. So it is not written with a party angle. So the BJP pair irukanga who writing so many books. Those are all like a political things. Similarly, Congress, they write those books. But this book is not like that. It's meant for intelligent person to read. To figure out, see, if Siddaramaiah is saying, if Stalin is saying, if Amit Shah is saying, all the big political parties have realized that this is a problem. And this problem cannot be solved very easily. Unless you make small states of equal size. If you make small states of equal size, you will solve the delimitation problem, you will solve our economy problem, and you will solve the problem of cultural, geographical, historical, adalla. All those micro identities will come up again. I'll give you a good example for those of your viewers who understand a little bit of Telugu. In Andhra or undivided Andhra, before 2014, 3 types of Telugu dialects. Coastal Andhra ஒரு type, Rayalaseema ஒரு type, இப்போ Telangana a third type, slightly Hindi influence. So you can easily make out, Telugu speaking person will know if the person talks from which area he is. Quite easy to make out. But recently a movie vandadu Pushpa, or Pushpa 2 and one about one sandalwood smuggler. Pathangala Ilya in the movie. But if you understand Telugu and you watch that movie in Telugu, you will realize that the language that they speak there is Rayalaseema Telugu. It is not coastal Telugu. It's the first time Tollywood made a big blockbuster movie using a regional dialect. So this also is a sort of an indication that people are proud of their micro identities. People of Rayalaseema are no less Indian than people of coastal Andhra or anybody else. All of us are Indians. We are all Bharatiyas. Because we speak different dialects or different languages, doesn't make us, different. Language, sir, in the end is a matter of convenience. If I am speaking to you, half English, half Tamil. And many of the viewers of this program will also understand a little bit. Nobody will not understand what we are speaking. And in somewhat simple way, I am speaking. So it is a matter of convenience. Frankly speaking, I visit Chennai very often. I think half the population of Chennai, Tamilians and non-Tamilians, understand the famous Inti quite well. So the Imuka can go on shouting Inti, but many people will follow also. The restaurants, all the waiters and servers are all English speaking. They don't Tamil Pesu, but many of them, if you speak in Hindi, they understand very well. So what do you do with all these people? You say you go back to Bihar, you go back to Nepal. So there's some illogicality and all this. But in the meanwhile, I'll say that is a first highest level political problem. And I think above all politicians, everybody should read what is happening. Because ours is the first book on delimitation. Nobody has written about delimitation before this. So at least let them see what these people have to say. And finally, We have analyzed it in a scientific way, not with the angle of a political party. Because the political parties will have their own axe to grind. But one thing is Congress, Dimuka, BJP all realize that this is a problem. So it is really a problem.
பட் நியர் ஃபியூச்சர்ல இந்த டீலிமிட்டேஷன் நடக்குமா சார்? ஏன்னா பெருவாரியான மக்கள் இப்போ வந்து இத ஒரு பூச்சாண்டி காட்டி தமிழ்நாடு டீலிமிட்டேஷன் கூடாது என்ற ஒரு குரல்.
எனக்கு I have a more fundamental problem. I feel census நடக்காது, or it will go so slow that சொல்லுவாங்க quietly. You see 2011 census இருந்தது, 2021 கோவிட் வந்தது. So 2031 வச்சுக்கலாம் census. So many difficulties are there in holding the census. We don't have the staff, we don't have the money. என்னமோ சொல்லுவாங்க. Because இவங்களுக்கு what has happened is ஒரு hot potato on expression இருக்கு English. This become a political hot potato.
Okay. Actually நிறைவாக இத பார்க்கக்கூடிய மக்களுக்கு நெத்தி போட்டு அடிச்ச மாதிரி டீலிமிட்டேஷன் பத்தி சொல்லணும்னா லைக் ஒரு வரையில சொன்னா நல்லா இருக்கும் சார். லாஸ்டா இறுதியா
delimitation has to be done on the basis of population, the existing population.
That's it.
Today's population. You adjust it in so many other ways. We have adjusted it by making the states of same size. So I still want my Tamil Nadu with these districts. I still want my UP with those districts, or my famous state Karnataka. Kannadalliye matadbeku. Kannada warriors, champions irkanga. ಕನ್ನಡ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ವಾ ನಿಮಗೆ? ಸರಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಂದ. So you can't have all those, that jingoism all has to stop, because all that is idiotic. Bharat has to grow economically. We should change ourselves before Donald Trump comes and changes us forcibly. That is my last message.
ரொம்ப விரிவாக உங்களுடைய புத்தகத்தின் அடிப்படையில் நீங்க பண்ண ரிசர்ச் அடிப்படையில் பல்வேறு விஷயங்கள் நீங்க பதிவு பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க. நீங்க சொன்னது பலருக்கும் ஏற்றுக்கொள்ள விதமாகவும் இருக்கும், பல பேர் முரணும் பண்ணலாம். எதுவாக இருந்தாலும் கமெண்ட்ஸ் சொல்லுங்க. ஸோ சாரோட புக்கோட லிங்க் நான் டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன் தரேன். யாருக்கு
லிங்க் யூ ப்ளீஸ் ஷேர். ஐ வில் டூ a bit of sales pitch. திகின் பாத்தம்ஸ்ல இருக்கு, அண்ணாசாலை, ஒடிசில இருக்கு, அடையார்ல, and of course Amazonல 24 hours கிடைக்கும் புத்தகம். டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன்ல தரேன். Share it with your friends, and above all, I'll tell you, because I am a scientist, above all, criticize it, because that is the input which I value the most. I don't like input which reads the book and says great sir, great sir, great sir. I want somebody to tell me I'm not so great, because then I will know that they have actually read my book.
Okay. So ரொம்ப விரிவாக பேசிருக்கீங்க.
ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம் ஸ்ரீவத்சன். Very happy to have had this opportunity, and you have also encouraged me today with your questions. And till the questions, these are all natural questions which people will think. But first, if you forget everything else which I said, you tell Bangalore North and Chennai Central, then you will understand the problem. Adu ellarkum purukku. Thank you. Thank you.
இப்போ உடல் ரீதியாக ஒரு பிரச்சனை வருது அப்படின்னா அந்த பிரச்சனைக்கு இந்த ஒரு வாஸ்து பாதிப்பு காரணமா இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு சொல்ல முடியுமா?
உங்க வீட்டோட தென்கிழக்கு தெற்கு சார்ந்த 22 டிகிரில என்ன இருக்குங்கிறத நீங்க செக் பண்ணுங்க. நான் சொல்ற மாதிரி பாதிப்பு அந்த இடத்துல இருந்தது அப்படின்னா நிச்சயமா அந்த இடத்துல.
இந்த மாதிரி ஆன்மீகம் மற்றும் ஜோதிடம் சார்ந்த இன்னும் பல வீடியோக்கள் பார்க்கணுமா? மறக்காம திருவருள் டிவிக்கு சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க. திருவருள் டிவியுடைய சேனல் லிங்க் இந்த வீடியோடைய டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன்ல இருக்கு.